Well, this is the latest edition of our SDN Sports Scene. I'm Danny P. Smith, sports editor here at the Starkville Daily News, and Robbie Faulk's our high school beat writer, and he's already watched a lot of good high school football this year, and we've got more on the way. And we've got two area teams going against each other to start district play with Choctaw County and East Webster, and those matchups, it doesn't get any better than that sometimes.
No, it's going to be a fun one. 4-1 Choctaw County, 5-0 East Webster. They're both on a winning streak here, 9 straight wins between them, and this could be two teams contending for a North State crown this year. I really believe both of these teams are talented enough they could be doing it. This, in my opinion, this is definitely Dylan Mitchell's best team, which is just year 2, but this might be Ron Price's best East Webster team. When you look out there, I was there. I've got to see him against Eupora. I was there last Friday to see him at Calhoun City. The talent level that they have this year is better than they've had that I can remember. Just the skill position guys, the guys at their safeties and corner positions, defensive linemen, what they may lack as far as like offensive linemen, this team can go toe-to-toe with a lot of teams in 3A. And, we know what Choctaw County has year in and year out, one of the more talented teams in our area. So I'm really, really excited about this game. Choctaw County puts their winning streak on the line at home. They haven't lost a game in their new stadium. East Webster, they have that willpower that is kind of uncommon for a lot of programs. They have it every year. You're going to get effort 100% every single game. You're going to get a team that's going to play to the final whistle. They're rarely ever scared of who they're playing. Yeah. And then with Choctaw County, this is a team that seems right now locked in. So something has to give between these two teams. I'm really excited to see how it plays out.
Yeah, like I say, these two teams could meet again in late November for something bigger on the line. But two very good football teams, and it's going to be it's one of our only games that we're going to be able to get to, and it's one that's going to deserve all the headlines for sure. But Starkville High bounced back last week, and they needed a win after coming up just short to Louisville by a point, and it was good to see that. And they're on the road to Greenville this week, and they'll get head coach Chris Jones back, and some of the players, I'm assuming that was suspended. So hopefully they can get back to continue this winning streak now that they can be on.
Yeah, talked to Coach Jones today. Just first time I've talked to him since the suspension, and was obviously frustrated with how everything played out, but is excited to get back with his team. He's been back with them since Sunday, and they've been game planning for Greenwood, who is a team. If you know this. In 2010, when Coach Gatewood took over there, he took over a program that was just not in good shape. Yeah. And Greenwood became, for a decade, one of the best teams in 4A year in and year out. He had, I think, 7 years where they won the district championship. They have 10-plus wins most seasons. And he's kind of gotten them back on track. Yeah. They had, after COVID, some rough years, but this year, 5-0, good start to the season. It looks like Greenwood's kind of getting back into the saddle. So this is a good game for Starkville to kind of get right before district play, to just kind of get the last kinks worked out. But it was big for that team last week in a game that against a team that Oxford's always well coached. Yeah. They're always going to play hard-nosed football. To win that game, find the way to win, and everything's working against you. You have 5 players out. You have Chris Jones out. It's raining. It's windy. Yeah. And they found a way to win it, and that's all that mattered. You needed to get out of that one with a win, and they did. Yeah. So they're sitting here at 4-1 now, and in pretty good shape going into district play next week. There's not a whole lot to be upset about if you're a Starkville High School fan.
Yeah, faced about as much adversity as you can on a Friday night, and they came out on the winning side. Got that little Egg Bowl trophy again. But they're wanting a bigger trophy at the end of the season, obviously. But this helps tremendously. Before we wrap up today, I just read your story on the All-Star selections, and this area is so blessed with a lot of great football talent, and once again it showed with the selections today.
Absolutely. DJ Harrison from Starkville, the wide receiver who has just been fantastic in the first few games. That's not a guy that I had on my radar, at least as an all-star candidate. And after a couple of games, he's made that kind of impression that he's a guy that makes the list from the Team Mississippi. he's just been fantastic in the first 5 ball games at wide receiver, a guy that moved over from defense, and now he's still playing defense for him, so he's playing both sides. And then, of course, Caleb Cunningham, which might have been the easiest choice for anybody on that roster. And a shout-out to Dylan Mitchell for making the coaching staff. He's going to be the quarterback's coach for that game. That game's coming up in December, and the roster looks as good as it's ever looked for Mississippi. You got Dylan Mitchell's got some fantastic quarterbacks that he's going to be able to coach, and Deuce Knight that's committed to Notre Dame, and then Kamario Taylor that's committed to Mississippi State. You got some wide receivers that are committed to in-state school, or not in-state schools, to SEC schools. Well, Caleb Cunningham, one of those. Yeah. You got defensive linemen, you got offensive linemen. I mean, every position is just a really good, solid group. And then Bernard Blackwell, I mean, you'll have to read about it in the paper. There's like 8 guys from this area and that. Plus Brad Gray from Eupora and Ron Price from East Webster. A lot of all area flavor there. And then, we have in there too 4 Mississippi State commitments. Mm-hmm. So pick up a paper tomorrow. You can check that out. And we'll have, obviously, the opposing view for Starkville and Starkville Academy as well.
Yeah. But they got an open date. So.
Okay, so just Starkville tomorrow. Yeah. But, make sure you pick up a paper. We got plenty of coverage for our area in there. But one of the few places, I think, that you'll find that there's hardly any, national news in there because it's all taken up by our, area content. Yeah. So support our paper, support local news, and come check that out.
Sounds good. We try to hit the big stories. Of course, this week with Pete Rose passing away, we tried to find a spot for such a news events as those, and it's interesting to keep up with everything in the sports realm. But we do focus on the local area, and I feel like we do it about as well as anybody does. So, like Robbie says, pick up a paper, keep up with everything, and we look forward to East Webster, Choctaw County over in Ackerman this week. That's why they built that stadium, to get games like this in there, and I'm sure
it's going to be slam packed.
Yeah, Pap's Place, go get you some fish.
Or Sonny Smokehouse. They got 2 spots in Ackerman you got to check out. Go get you a steak sandwich at Sonny Smokehouse.
They've got some good
that place. I think they've had on a couple of different occasions this year. They've had over 2,000 people there, which is special for 3A, and it's going to be slam packed. Because I know East Webster's going to bring a crew. They always do. They travel everywhere, and Choctaw County has been packing it out every home game. So that's our featured game of the week, and we're really excited about it. We'll be there to cover it.
Just a short little drive down Highway 15, and it'll be a good one, I'm sure. But thanks for tuning in this week, and we'll talk about this game and more next week. We got a lot of home games coming up on the 11th, so there'll be a lot to talk about next week. So stay tuned.